With a rampaging Wolverine from the future on the loose, it'll be up to Professor X to gather together a crack team of specialists to stop the threat. All this and more in the pages of X Deaths of Wolverine issue number 3. Let's hop on it together and find out what happens next, shall we? So then, as we join the book, Gabby, aka Scout, is positively annoying the hell out of her older sister and mentor figure, Laura the Wolverine. In classic little sister fashion, she's asking only the most annoying questions. Hey, if you had a claw come out of your butt, would that be like a stinger? Hey, if there can be 2 Wolverines, can I be Wolverine one day? There you go, and what are you doing? Could we stop for ice cream? I'm an only child. This private moment ends up getting interrupted by Xavier, who psychically reaches out to Laura and says that he needs her help. There's a rampaging future Wolverine on the loose, and because they can't send Logan after it, what with him being sent through time currently, it looks like the best way to catch a Wolverine is with another Wolverine. I like that Xavier never stopped to wonder if what he was doing, monkeying around with time and space, could very well be the thing that was causing this new Wolverine, but hey. Just because you're the master of the mental arts doesn't necessarily mean you're always a particularly smart guy now, does it? The mutants of Krakoa think they have a pretty good idea about where this new time-traveling Wolverine, officially named in this issue Omega Wolverine, is going to strike next. All throughout this series, you'll remember they've been dropping crumbs about a brand new corporation called Epiphany that seeks to try and upgrade the human condition through the use of cybernetics. And well, wouldn't you just know it, today of all days, Epiphany CEO and head scientist Dr. Arnab Shakladar just so happened to be rolling out their brand new product line. And hey, it's not just mutants and Moira who have an invested interest in Epiphany anymore, as Shakladar actually gets met by Agent Ramirez and the X-Desk. They've also figured this Omega Wolverine is gunning for this guy, and as such they want to spirit him away to make sure he doesn't get killed. And not a moment too late either, as Omega Wolverine ends up pulling up in a car and absolutely slicing and dicing his way through Epiphany security. And yeah, you know what, at this point we really are through the looking glass, aren't we? A time-traveling killing machine wants to end the life of a prominent scientist before his advancements can affect the future. We really are just doing Judgment Day now, aren't we? Shakladar is totally Miles Dyson, and this new cybernetic upgrade for humanity is totally the microprocessors that will lead to Skynet. Also, hey, some scientists wanting to implant people with robot parts sure did seem a lot more science fiction a few months ago until an actual real-world guy started talking about doing the same thing. It's just, you know, a shame that the real-world guy had to be the same dude who acts a fool on Twitter and whose products regularly lock people out and catch fire. What I'm saying is I don't personally fear the robot apocalypse, especially when we have so many other apocalypses vying for our time. Now, as it turns out, Moira actually leaked that important information to the X-Desk so that they would try and evacuate Shakladar, giving her the chance to swoop on in and have a one-on-one conversation with him. Moira figures if time-traveling mutants have been sent to try and kill her, then the future has already been changed, and Shakladar is her only way of getting things back on track. With his genius and her future sight, surely they can work together and end up changing the world. Shakladar is more than happy to do this too because, well, he's just that sort of futurist type of guy. Now, when Omega Wolverine finally makes his way inside the building, he's met not only by Laura Wolverine and Scout, but also Daken. Yes, that's right, it's a full-on Logan family reunion. I guess Jimmy Hudson, the Ultimate Wolverine's invite got lost in the mail, mainly because it wasn't sent. It's over the course of the fight with the Omega Wolverine, they actually get this stoic individual to start opening up. Apparently he comes from a time when all other mutants, including these 3, are dead. And that the only way to stop this dark future from coming to pass is to return to the present and kill Shakladar before he can do whatever it is he ends up doing with Moira, which, as we discover, is creating an AI backup of Moira's own mind and memories, in doing so ensuring that even if she succumbs to her blood cancer, she will end up living well into her 11th life. Shakladar also gifts Moira a brand new robotic arm to replace the Warlock one that got lost. Moira says that in the beginning she imagined herself the shepherd, the savior of mutant kind, but overnight the entirety of Krakoa has turned her into their Judas, their Satan, their great deceiver and defiler. Which, as far as she's concerned, is just fine. Maybe she won't try and save mutant kind anymore. Maybe her new plan should be to try and save humanity from the ever-growing threat of mutantdom. And because in every life that Moira lived through, machines ultimately win out over mutants, I guess if you can't beat them, join them. Time to usher in the brand new age of the cyborg, starting with her. her. And this choice actually ends up having some major reverberations throughout the timeline. We once again visit the far-flung future wherein the last of the mutants exist on preserves. Right around the same time the Phalanx had come to Earth to assimilate, it seems that Wolverine is still kicking around long enough to see that Moira in her warlock form is actually still there too. The two have one last clash and it seems that Wolverine does not end up winning that fight. Well, it is called X Deaths for a reason, am I right? And so that was X Deaths of Wolverine issue number 3, everybody, and while I certainly did enjoy it more than the last X Lives of Wolverine issue, I can't help but shake the feeling that both these concurrent storylines are a bit too thin for their own good. Don't get me wrong, I love a good Terminator riff as much as the next guy, and X-Men has certainly done good riffing on it in the past, but they're not really adding a lot new. We're 3 issues deep and it doesn't really feel like much has happened yet. Getting to see the extended members of Logan's family come together was a super cool moment, and I hope we get to hang out with them for the rest of the series. In fact, I'm shocked no one has pitched a Wolverine family book before. Moira's continued journey is also fascinating, if slightly messy. It feels like they can't quite decide what her motivation is yet. First, she wanted to save mutant kind, but then she got cast out, but refused to leave all the hard work she had done, but now she wants to burn it all down, figuring that they're only going to keep coming after her time and time again, which, in an interesting twist of irony, they're only coming after her because Moira transformed mutant society into the form it is now. Maybe it's because all these big new revelations are happening so soon after the end of Inferno, we never really got to deal with Moira's status quo before they changed it all over again. Ultimately, though, I'd feel comfortable giving this one a 7 out of 10. It's good enough, but I can't shake the feeling that there's just something that's not connecting with me on a really important level. Maybe I will by the time it's all done, though.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cave Jewel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time, everyone, I've been Cape Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.